He's quite the hunter.
Good evening. Welcome to the Armstrong School District Board of Directors regular meeting of December 11th, 2017. Won't you rise for me with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Burdell.
Here.
Ms. Bowser.
Here.
Mr. Chauncey.
Here.
Mr. Elkin.
Here.
Ms. Lote.
Here.
Dr. Lobby.
Here.
Mr. Mulroy.
Here.
Mr. Scaife.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
The Board of School Directors of Armstrong School District convened an executive session on Monday, December 11th, 2017, at 7:00 p.m. in the Faculty Lounge of West Hills Intermediate School in Katanning for discussion of personnel, student confidentiality, and real estate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any central office administrative reports?
Nothing more than what we presented last week on the data presentation.
I guess, Aaron, we don't have a representative anyhow. They haven't met, but are you still on
Yes.
Monty's report tonight?
Just a little bit. We will be getting a credit for the extra money that we paid in the previous year, and that will be somewhere over $200,000 for our district. I forgot to bring the exact amount there, but so there had been some discussion about paying off some debt with that, but it was decided just to return the credits to the districts. Also, the director will be retiring at the end of the year and will be replaced by the current principal, Wes Cookton. So that was the basic things that we did.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I ask for public comments on agenda items. Sure. Okay, hearing none, we'll look to approve the minutes. I look for a motion and a second to combine and approve the open caucus session for November 9th, as well as the regular meeting of November 13th. Do I have a motion? Dr. Lobby, a second? Mr. Burdell. Any other discussion about the minutes? Roll call.
Mr. Mulroy.
Here. Yes.
Mr. Scaife.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Burdell.
Yes.
Ms. Bowser.
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Elkin.
Yes.
Ms. Lote.
Yes.
Dr. Lobby.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
Okay, same thing, we're gonna look to, I'll look for a motion and a second to combine and approve the bills, specifically the Food Service Fund of November, Capital Projects Fund in November, Athletic Fund of October, and the presentation of bills for payment for November. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mulroy and Ms. Sloat. Any discussion around the bills? Roll call?
Mr. Scaife.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Burdell.
Yes.
Ms. Bowser.
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Elkin.
Yes.
Ms. Lote.
Yes.
Dr. Lobby.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
Aside from the personnel items marked as information only, I'll look to, for a motion and a second to combine and approve Personnel 1 through Personnel 20. Personnel 3, 5, 10, and 11 are for information only. Do I have a motion, Mr. Mulroy? I have a second, Dr. Lobby. Roll call.
Mr. Smith.
Yes on all except no on Personnel 13, please.
Mr. Burdell.
Yes.
Ms. Bowser.
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Elkin.
Yes.
Ms. Lote.
Yes.
Dr. Lobby.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Scaife.
I abstain on the name of Emily King on per 9, and yes to everything else.
1 abstention on per 9 for Emily King. And per 13 was number voting yes 8, number voting no 1. Motion carries. The remainder of the items, number voting yes 9, number voting no 0. Motion carries.
Education, we have one item, there are routine student transfer requests. I need a motion and a second to approve Ed 1. Ms. Lowe? I need a second. Mr. Mulroy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Burdell?
Yes.
Ms. Bowser?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Elkin?
Yes.
Ms. Lote?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skape?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
Business, we have 4 items. Should I leave business to, should we put on that separate?
You don't have to, it was discussed at the work session.
Okay. So many of these items were discussed on Thursday at the open session. So I'm going to ask for a motion and a second to combine and approve business 1, 2, 3, and 4. Business 1 is the participation in Aaron's co-op purchasing program. Business 2 is, should I go ahead and read that, or is there something?
Sure.
It's a resolution indicating that the Armstrong School District will not raise the rate of any tax for the support of the public schools for the 2018-19 fiscal year by more than the Act 1 inflationary index. So we're asked every year to state whether we intend to raise above or not, and we do not plan to raise above the index. Business 3 is an agreement for an environmental study of the Canning Senior High School site. And Business 4 is an agreement for facility condition assessment for the Canning Senior High School. So we can have discussion, but I need a motion to combine and approve. Mr. Burdell, a second. Mr. Skafe. Any board discussion? Anything that the administration wants to highlight? Okay. Roll call.
Ms. Bowser?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Elkin?
Yes.
Ms. Lote?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skafe?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Burdell?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
One item under student transportation services, another, again, it's just another routine approval. This is for approval of the bus drivers for 2017-18. I need a motion. Mr. Mulroy, a second. Ms. Elkin, Mr. Elkin, sorry, I'm gonna get these names of the Mr. Elkin seconded that. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Mr. Elkin?
Yes.
Ms. Lote?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skafe?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Burdell?
Yes.
Ms. Bowser?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
2 items under policy. Solicitor, 1, 2.
Nothing more to add than we had discussed at our last open caucus.
Okay. A motion and a second to combine and approve policy 1 and 2. Mr. Mulroy, second. Ms. Lowe. Any other further discussion from board members? Roll call.
Mr. Elkin?
Yes.
Ms. Lote?
Yes.
Dr. Lobby?
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy?
Yes.
Mr. Skafe?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Burdell?
Yes.
Ms. Bowser?
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey?
Yes.
Number voting yes, 9. Number voting no, 0. Motion carries.
Under general, we have one item, and that's the election of Armstrong School District Director to the Aaron Intermediate Unit 28 Board. So I guess Thursday, no one volunteered to fill that. Any interest out there? It's really, I served on it for a number of years. It's not very difficult. It's really important. We're obviously one of the bigger districts in the unit. So I would ask for any of you, if you're even have remote interest, even for now, just for, for the year, greatly appreciate that. Any interest? Thought you were raising your hand, Mr. Burnell? Well, this is a problem. Don't make me call on someone.
Let me look into it,
Okay,
think about it for a day or so.
all right, thank you, appreciate that, and then we'll table that till
When
next month.
is the meeting? Anybody know?
It's the
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Burdell, for considering it.
I didn't help you out, Chris.
Okay, other, anything in the informational folder?
No additions to the unit four.
Okay.
I have a
yes.
comment. I'm on, as most of you know, I'm on the YMCA board, and we've had an interest in the in the football field down to Old High School. And we have some spring programs coming up, and I believe there'll be someone coming to request use leasing that field or something in the short term, you know. So probably next meeting, there'll be somebody here to discuss it. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that we're still interested in that part of the facility down there.
Okay.
On that note, I want to mention, I'm also on a board for West Shamokin Youth Softball, and we're interested in the property up above the Shannock Elementary, the old ball field up there, the baseball field. So it hasn't been used. There isn't even dirt there, but they're interested in it. I think somebody's going to end up sending a letter here. at some
Okay,
point.
yeah, I was just gonna say, that's probably the logical first step. Anything else to add, Chris?
No, we put the request in writing to the board, or have somebody come and address the board person with the ball rolling. That's what that can happen for both entities. Okay.
Anything else from board members or administrators? I just wanted to say, thank you for electing me the board president for the year. But I look forward to meeting and working with all of the new board members, as well as all the returning board members, and continuing good relationships with the administrators and all the teachers in the district. And I just, hope we can continue all the great work that we've been doing, really focusing on good quality public education, with the best interest in mind for taxpayers, parents, and especially the students. So thank you, and I look forward to this year. So no other information. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn in a second.
So moved.
Mr. Burdell and Mr. Malloy. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.